Good evening or good morning, everybody. In this video, we are going to quickly go over the holdings for today, and just note there were no trades. So we'll just basically be looking at the statuses here of where we are, and we can take a glimpse at the summary data. So today the stock went down 9 cents, and I don't have it here, but I just went over it on the daily. And the stock market itself had went down 0.95%, so almost 1%, and ULTY went down 0.5%. Our outstanding shares have increased above 3 million, and our net for the short call trades is 53 cents, and our short call premium received is $1.37 a share. We didn't have any trades, but we have more shares, therefore reduces that amount. Now, at this point, I'm using this as a guide to, where we stand on these. However, based on looking at the YieldMax ETFs, that's not necessarily what they go off of based on the distribution. And then there's lots of other human factors too. So this one does not have one single stock underlined to do an estimate on IV. So that's out the window. And then if you want to look at past distributions, we have one that was $1.06.50. So based on that, I know I've been asked time and time again. I'll also do a separate video titled the YieldMax or the ULTY estimate review or whatever. So it'll be out there separately because I know everybody's watching these videos. But I mean, if they're wanting to keep, face of how they paid out the dollar or something, they'll just pay out somewhere around $2. But at the same time, the stock's at $17. Well, it's almost 18 to be fair, I guess. But if it pays out now we're down to 15 something already, and this stock's only been out for like 5 or so weeks, 6 weeks, I guess, by the time this pays out. So I would say maybe $1.50, but based on they may do $2, but it's really just a guessing game here. We'll see once the number comes out if I can try to match it to anything, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen either. But I guess I'll go over that in another video, just in case, and I'll go through the other sheet. But anyway, we're going to go through this real quick. So we have a Biohaven, the short call that expires next week with a strike price of $60, and it is currently 15% below that strike price. As far as today goes, it looks like they went down 2%, which is about 92 cents there. And then we have Clean Spark here. This short call expires Friday with a strike price of $17, and we are currently 11% below that strike price, and the stock did go down 2% today, which is only about 28 cents. We have Coinbase with the short call that expires this Friday with a strike price of $2.75. We're currently 9% under that strike price. The stock did end up rising $3 today, 3% today, which was roughly $8. Carvana short call that expires this Friday, strike price $88. We're under that by 9%, and the stock went down 4% today, so it went down over $3. eHang, we have 2 short calls, but they won't expire till next week with the strike prices of 20 and 21, and we're under those 3 and 8%. And those stocks went down 4% today, so they went down roughly 80 cents. In phase here, this short call expires Friday with a strike price of 127. We're currently 6% below that, and the stock dropped 2% today, a little over $2. GigaCloud Technology short call doesn't expire till next week, but it has a strike price of $40, and we're currently under that by 22%. The stock went down 2% today, or 57 cents. Hut 8 has a short call that expires this Friday with a strike price of $10, and we're under that by 15%. It did go down 1%, or 9 cents today. ITCI. Man, I was on a roll, and I can't remember. Okay, let's look it up. Intracellular therapies, and it looks like the other data didn't fill. Intracellular therapies. I'm not going to remember. All right, so anyway, ITCI short call expires next week, has a strike price of $75 and is currently 10% below the strike price. It did drop 2% today, somewhere around $1.40 there. LabU Biotech ETF short call expires Friday with a strike price of 120, currently 7% below that strike price, but the stock dropped by 6% today, so that's why. So it looks like it dropped around $7. Then we have Mara, short call expires Friday, strike price of $20. We are 13% below that strike price, and it dropped 3% just today. Mind Medicine, 2 short calls that expire next Friday with strike prices of 11 and 12, and we are underneath those 1% and 9%. So the stock price is $10.90. So we're 10 cents below that first strike price that has the majority of the contracts of over 1,800 there. And this stock came up 8% today. Yeah, it keeps going up between $10 and $11 there the past week. But we have a MicroStrategy here with a strike price of $1,700 for the short call that expires this Friday. We're currently at $15.66 and we're 8% below that strike. This one has been going up and down 5 to 8% the last few days. So we'll see if it can get going. I think it got up to about $15.75 today. But it was also, this morning, it was in the 1300s. So it's huge swings there, but it's up 9% overall today. NanoX Imaging short call expires next Friday with a strike price of $12.50. We're under that by 18%, and the stock dropped 4% today. Root short call doesn't expire till next week, has a strike price of $85. We're under that 10%. The stock did drop 4% today. Solar Edge. I know that's Edge. Just make sure. Yep, Solar Edge. Short call expires. Let's see. In fact, the rest of these expire this week, so I'll save a few words there. The short call strike price $72. Ooh, we're only under that 2% by $1.30 there, and it went down 2% today. So it actually brought us down back underneath it because we were over that strike price. SMCI here, strike price $99.60 for the short call. We're under that by 5%, and it looks like the stock only came up about $4.34 today. Vikings Therapeutics short call, the $80 strike price. We're underneath that 10%, and the stock went down 2% today. So looking good. VRT, Vertiv. All right, so Vertiv here, VRT short call strike price $86, and we're only under that one 1%. So, and what is, I don't even know what day of the week it is. I think it's Wednesday, so it means we would have 2 full trading days left if that is the case. We're under that 1%, which is what, $1.23-ish, and it came up 4% today, so that's why we're so close on that one. And then we have Wayfair with a strike price of $69, and we're under that by 11% because the stock dropped 7% today. All right. So I'll try to get through that pretty quickly. And then if we look over here, if you want to see this data, I'm not going to really go in depth, but I will scroll here for you. I can tell you that by doing the daily roundup, the top 5 out of the top 6 highest IVs are Bitcoin related. So I'm sure all of you knew that. And then this is messed up probably because the holdings isn't loading or something right on my raw sheet, because this was there earlier. So not sure why that's not showing. That all the sectors aren't pulling in, so that's why. That's what happened. That's why I try to always copy the data when I do my videos. Of course, I can't do it here because this is the raw data, but yeah, it's just not pulling in the industry right now, which is why it's not giving us that pretty little pivot right there. If you just want to look here at the outstanding shares and how they've done as far as increases and decreases in the net asset change and comparing those to the indexes, I have that data right here. And I actually changed this formula to, instead of being the NASDAQ composite, to the NASDAQ 100. So you can go down here and you can see, okay, so you see back here, we talk about this. Well, we talk about this in the YieldMax video. I don't talk about the outstanding shares. I guess we don't show history, but I had that here when I talk about the estimates. But maybe I should do something like that. But right now, you can see here, this was last month around the ex-dividend dates and pay dates and all of that. And then here we are this month. We can see it didn't do a lot there for the week or so, and now we're getting into that buying period. All right, so just a reminder here, so declaration date is the 16th, which I believe is Tuesday, and the ex-dividend date is the 17th, which is Wednesday of next week. And then just because you're here, if you watched the video last night, you know what all of this means here. There we go. So as of today, we have for this pay period, our short call premiums, the earnings per share right now is showing $1.37, which is the same thing that we're showing up here at the top, right? This number's up here. This is just the other sheet where I have all this stuff rolled up to. We've done 20 days so far. So I showed last pay period, which was only 10 days. In those 10 days, we had roughly $1.02. Again, if you watch the previous video, you know we had the first day of trading we didn't have. So it's just sort of an estimate based off of the holding, so it's not exactly accurate. But right now we're at $1.37 for this pay period so far. And then we have 3 days left. It looks like we're 87% of the way. And with that said, we have 3 days. So unless people are buying in a lot the next few days, there's not going to be a lot going on. So Friday, we may have to pay to close some things out. And then we might have some trade. Well, we'll have all the premium that's going to be brought in on Monday, maybe a little bit on Tuesday. It really depends on Tuesday. Depends on if they spent 100% of the money on Monday and how many more people buy in on Tuesday. But if Tuesday's declaration date, I guess that's not going to matter for the estimate or for the payout, because they're going to do it based off of Monday's data. So yeah, we will have one more big data day, money day, which will be Monday. So even though we have 3 tradings left, we really only have one big premium day, at least to adjust this dollar amount. Of course, that'll also be adjusted by the number of outstanding shares, and we're now over 3 million there. If we want to look at the net of all the short call trades, it's 53 cents for this period. All trades were at 1.6 million, all short call trades. If we look at the synthetic positions, all of those trades were at a negative 4.2 million. And then the stocks that they own for that short period of a week lost 8 million there. So we're at a loss of 10.7 million. Our net assets are currently 54 million, or 53.7 million. But, you know, these are high volatile stocks, and then they've had these changes, you know, going from the synthetic, well, from the stock to the synthetic to the stock, then back to the synthetic, due to their they're custodians of the accounts and how they need to do things. And then, of course, you have all the things with concentration and stuff like that. But anyway, just wanted to quickly go over that. Oh, and then we have this over here, so we can see so far this pay period we've gone down $1.69. So we've been teetering between this 1760-ish and 1860 probably for the past week. But you can see where we're down this pay period, last pay period, and overall there. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go for this video and head to the next one. Y'all have a great day tomorrow.